everybody, my name is Danny Childs, and today I'm going to walk you through how to make two things. First, your very own homemade walnut liqueur known as nocino. And then after that, we're going to take the nocino, we're going to mix it into a cocktail that I call the Walnut Old Fashioned. First, I'll introduce myself. I live in the United States in southern New Jersey, and I work within the Slow Food Organization in a few different respects. So I'm a member of the Ark of Taste Committee for the Northeast and New England states. And I also am part of the Cooks Alliance Committee as a representative from the beverage and cocktail communities. Apart from working with slow food, I work at a restaurant called the Farm and Fisherman, where I manage the bar program. And if anybody's interested in following along with my cocktail experiments, you can do so on Instagram at slowdrinks. So jumping right in, what is nocino? Simply stated, nocino is a liqueur made from unripe green walnuts. We first learn of nocino from the writings of the Roman Empire. So this dates back centuries. And the Romans themselves actually learned of it from the Pict tribe of Great Britain. They told us how every year, as part of their summer solstice celebrations, the Picts would send barefooted virgins into the walnut trees to harvest these young nuts. They'd bring them down and they would submerge them in alcohol for the next 6 months. And then, as part of their winter solstice celebration, they would drink the alcohol. Now, the Romans adopted the practices, but shifted the date's significance to align with Christian holidays. So June 24th would fall on St. John's Day, and they would deem their nocino ready 6 months later at the time of Christmas. And today, you can still find descendants of the Romans in Italy and elsewhere who on St. John's Day climb up into walnut trees and make their own proprietary nocino. There in Europe, they use the European or English walnut, but across the world there are over 20 different species of walnut in the juglans family, all of which could hypothetically be used to make nocino. Here in the northeastern United States, we have two types. We have the very common North American black walnut, which you can see here, sort of a more circular shape and a coarse skin on the outside. Then we have the butternut. This is an Ark of Taste varietal. You can see it's a little bit more elongated and has a little bit of a fuzz on the outside. This is not as common. This has actually been pretty decimated in this area from a fungal disease called butternut canker. So it's hard to find, but I'm lucky enough to have a tree nearby that I know of where I can make butternut nocino every year. So how do you make nocino? You basically slice your nuts in half, you place them in a container like this, and then you cover it with grain alcohol. So you want something that's 75% alcohol or more, 151 proof, and then you let it sit for 6 months. After that time, you strain the walnuts out, you dilute it, and add sugar to bring that alcohol content down between 40 and 35%. So pretty much a normal percentage for a liqueur of this type. And then it's shelf stable. You can keep it for as long as you can. I have some of last year's batch, I have some of my batch from 2 years ago, and it's really interesting to see how it changes and develops as it ages. Despite the fact that it is so dark, it is a very green, vibrant flavor to it. It really is unlike anything else behind the bar. So I really love to complement the spice notes of the walnut with bourbon, and specifically bourbon infused with fig leaves. This is a really simple infusion, basically 24 hours. You pick a few fig leaves, cover them with bourbon or any other alcohol that you choose. But for the old fashioned, we'll do bourbon, and let it sit, and then take the fig leaves out, and it's good to go. Today, we're going to mix that with nocino, a demerara syrup. So demerara is an unrefined sugar. It's a little bit more brown and has a molasses flavor to it. And then we have orange bitters and Angostura bitters. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of the fig leaf bourbon. 3/4 of an ounce of butternut nocino from last year's batch. It's my last little bit, so I'm running low. Half an ounce of demerara syrup. Dash of orange bitters. I'll do another little one. And a dash of Angostura bitters. And then we're going to add ice and stir. Wait until your glass feels nice and chilled, about 10 seconds or so. And then we're going to pour this over a nice ice sphere or cube, and if you don't have a big cube, then small ice is just fine. I would just stir a little bit less. Then we're going to take an orange, get a nice swath of the peel. We're going to express it right over top of the drink. A little skewer, got a homemade cocktail cherry here. Place it in and enjoy. It's delicious. Walnut Old Fashioned. Cheers.